Hello guys and welcome to The Platform, a show brought to you by Ibuto Production. This is a show where we'll be talking about relevant topics about the youth. So today our topic is masculinity, but before we proceed into our chat, I would like you to subscribe, comment and please engage with our content. And I would like to introduce our panel. My name is Uyanda Khozani and here I have...
It's your boy, Ozandovo.
Hi, it's Pesi Kazana.
Hi, it's Lita Lelanga.
Divi Ramuzamai.
Kwezindanda.
Hi, I'm Ndlovu.
Undercutter.
And now that we've met everyone, we will go into masculinity. And exactly what is masculinity?
I'll give you the Oxford
Please, school us.
dictionary definition of masculinity. Oxford says it is a noun and its qualities or attributes regarding as characteristics of men. Example, handsome, muscled, and driven. He's a prime example of masculinity. And you're showing me pictures of white gym men.
White.
Yes, white specifically.
White.
Not that have any like beef with Caucasians.
No, it's all that. Yeah.
So,
Do our guys want to tell us what is masculinity?
Is it true? Is
Okay,
it not true?
I have a question. Based on that,
Oxford.
Oxford, yeah. It gave characteristics of a strong. So man, it doesn't mean doesn't have the muscles. But some car, chief. Yes, it's where. But I just mean like masculine. I'm not able to mean
According to Oxford.
According to
Lina,
Appearance-wise, you are still energetically, I don't know.
but for me, I'm not hearing what you're saying.
What?
But like for me, for masculinity or being masculine or being feminine, does it literally reside to girl or boy? It's literally it's a characteristic. Am I making sense? Like a characteristic of, but my thing is, how do you define that characteristic that I'm not thinking of?
Oxford just said masculine, muscled, strong.
My question is, I'm not there. I'm not
Handsome.
But I think I'm gonna say this from my academia side. I think Oxford is wrong.
Sure.
That is not what masculinity truly is.
Talk your shit.
And I think when it was written, this definition of masculinity, it was how it was perceived at the time. But because now time is evolving and we're also evolving, our minds are evolving, we now truly know that this definition is truly wrong. I'm sorry, Oxford, but you guys are wrong.
Okay, what is the
No, I think that's
definition
also
for you?
great.
Yeah.
Fine, they're wrong, right? But now if you go and ask women what they want in a man, is it not strong?
Sheesh.
Muscled.
Can I just say from a perspective of a female, that's something it's been indoctrinated into us.
Okay, so you're okay with the feminine guy?
Wait.
What do you mean by feminine?
Because feminine guy, about masculine, the opposite is feminine. So feminine guy meaning not strong, not muscular, not the overall protector, not the overall leader. That's more of a feminine role.
He's a
I'm talking about definitions. This is definition.
I don't understand. Okay, because personally, I'm okay with someone that's like, okay, let's do this together, not necessarily like, I'm going to be the one that's going to lead.
But he initiated you guys doing it together. Is not some sort of leading.
Can I ask a question? Would you want like a husband who doesn't change the light bulbs? Because that's what that's the masculine
I mean, I
side of
don't-
like, you know,
I
he's
don't
responsible for like the hard
Oh.
labor
I
type
don't
of
think
things.
that's
the-
just-
Well,
No, but I'm-
masculinity to fucking like
No,
that.
no, I'm trying to make an example. I'm trying to make an example like
Okay with that?
someone who's masculine, they say does like the hard labor. Yes, do you understand?
Yeah.
Like you're
Someone,
protector.
I guess. I
Yeah.
can do it, I guess. Like, it's not your job.
No, like the hard things.
I mean, it's not.
That's what society
Like,
says. You
I
know,
mean,
your husband must.
If you can't do it, okay, sharp or pay someone to do it. If I can do it, then I'll do it. Like, you're not in my life.
So then you're okay with the with the feminine, I suppose
But I'm not
society
gonna-
says is
But
feminine.
I'm not gonna say he's feminine because he can't change a light bulb or fix a tap.
Man, whoa. Question for the gents. Gents, how do you feel if, for example, you can't, based on your father's neck, your father can practically do anything. Change your tire, go to motor, fuck it, some of us might not be that cultured in that sense. There's I wanna my car is stopping. Me, I'm attuned to like calling someone to come help. To you, yeah, it's a two-part question. To you, how does it feel on your manhood?
Me personally, I could do all those things. So,
Oh, okay.
but like, I wanna unpack this thing. So, we're looking at what Oxford said.
Yeah.
You know, denotation, denotary meaning, and then
Yes.
there's the connotations of masculinity.
Yes.
You know what masculine is perceived as. You know, it could be in so many different spheres. You know, I might not be able to do anything manly, what you do,
Yeah.
but I could emotionally, I could be masculine. You know, I could be a
That's what I'm trying to
figure
get to.
on my partner.
Yeah.
You know,
Tell those
see?
bars.
So like there's a whole lot of it to masculinity, which is good mostly, and which is bad. You know.
Okay, I have a question for everyone.
What's your issue?
How do you guys feel about the thing that each person has a divine masculine and a divine feminine within them as a
That's
person?
very true.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, that's very true.
Whole body people, a lot of the time when you see a person who really knows themselves and is in tune with themselves, is acknowledgeable of the fact that yes, I'm a woman and I'm female, but I also have a percentage of me is masculine in some of the things that I might do or how I say or how I portray myself, and that's how the yin yang works together,
Yeah.
because there needs to be a bit of something in everything. So I think you need to be aware of which side you mostly relate to, but you need to acknowledge that the other side is also very much there.
Your strong point.
So I think I don't know, for me the problem is saying that masculine equals to man and feminine equals to woman. That's where my problem comes
Yeah.
in. Just because I may be masculine or, for example, choose to wear, I don't know, wear pants thing, or like a woman that's ambitious, the same way men are expected to, is all of a sudden too dominant, or she's too much, or she's just like, she's too masculine and she's trying to be a man. And it's like, no, I'm not trying to be a man. It's who I, like, it's just me, and it's okay. It's not, I'm not trying to wear the pads. I'm not trying to take away being a man. Do you understand? But what is being a man? Are gender roles okay? Are they not? Does that in a sense make masculinity toxic?
Yep.
I also have another question
Yeah.
to the guys. How do you guys
Julie, in my face.
to the guys? How do you guys feel about the expression that Indoda can?
I
Yeah.
hate
That's
it.
messed up.
I wanna so conmigo.
I hate it.
Oh, nah.
That's messed up.
That's
No, but then-
toxic masculinity.
But then what the first thing guys
theory
doing
on
money?
that. I have a theory on that.
Yes,
right?
yes.
Until indoda ikhali, you know, indoda ibila ngamehlo. So to say that siyakhala, but crying is actually dwelling within the pain and think if we're all crying, what's gonna get solved?
Hey, don't cheat on
Do you know what my thing is? With everyone, whether you're a man,
understand?
whether you're a
It's
woman, whether you're non-binary, it is okay to cry. Sometimes you need to.
Well, of course, yeah.
You need to sit and you need to accept that pain. You know, sit down and you need to cry and say, okay, the situation is for what it is. Let me cry. Let me accept it. Then, what's the way forward?
Can I say
It's
something?
okay to cry.
Yeah.
There's so many instances. There's so many instances where women are like, I want my man to be emotional with me, and I want him to communicate and talk and be
It's so nice for me.
lovey-dovey. Then they get a man who actually does that.
Sure.
And then they don't know what to do.
It's-
Then they can't handle it. Then, why is he always crying? Fuck. Then it becomes another issue. Don't ask for things that you cannot handle, because a lot of the time women ask for things that when they get them, when it's presented to them, and I'm not saying that it's women's fault that they can't handle that now, but they're taught about so they don't know how to handle when they see their dad cry because they've never done that. So we can speak as to the whys later, but women need to acknowledge the fact that what they ask for, when it's presented to them, sometimes they don't know how to handle it. So when you ask for all those things, when you get someone who is emotional, you need to also yourself be able to handle that emotional side.
So would you say that women or the feminine figures also contribute to what we call toxic
Definitely.
masculinity?
Yeah.
Definitely, because like all those things are standard.
For me, it gets so annoying, right? Like, let's say a man is crying for any reason possible, and then you get the female who comes in and says, "Imagine, what's the color win?"
I hate that so much.
You can't say. So you say pussy's crying, he's not a man. No, he's a man. He has emotions as well. So when I think, like I said, Oxford is wrong. You crying as a man, I respect you so much because you have the ability to show
express your emotions.
Because listen, crying.
Emotionally.
Hey, guys, this is the problem.
Yeah.
We've taken a sense of showing emotion, a sense of weakness. Crying is a sense of strength. You're showing that, you know what? I feel the pain that I'm going through right now.
Yes.
I see that I'm going through a stage in life where I'm down, but I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
So a sense of crying is letting go, it's shedding the pain that you're in and moving on. So when you come in and say, I'm sorry, females, but when you come in and you tell your man or your father or your brother, in your day, Kai, you're killing him. You're killing the nation because he's gonna grow up saying to his son and to his grandchildren, to the next generation that Indo they can.
And I think
And
it
it
ends up.
hands of shy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It ends up taking it to toxic masculinity, and then we end up taking masculinity in a household, and how the father figure is now seen as a bad person in a household because of how he was taught to be as a young male, and he was taught to hide everything in, and now he's now in this position of power and he can do what he wants to do, and now when he can express that masculinity and his position of power, he now abuses it.
You said toxic masculinity twice. What is it?
I think it's using masculinity in a way that benefits you as a man. Like you're masculine, and masculinity is unfortunately is taken above being feminine, because men are respected more than women.
We have a question here.
It's like how people
Is it not how you use it as a form of oppression? Let's say
Yeah, like
anything you use
kind
as a form of oppression is toxic.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a question, quick one. Just balance me real quickly. My balance right now.
Yeah.
Is masculinity only found in men?
No,
that's
But not-
that's why I'm
because
saying. That's why
what's
I'm
confusing
saying.
me is that we keep
It doesn't equal to
saying
Men.
Yeah.
that's
as if masculinity is only in men.
Yeah.
But that goes back to the problem with the feminine is only found in women. It's not only found in women. It's found in men.
Yeah.
Masculinity is also found in women. So we also have those women who take the leadership role in the house, who are the masculinity in the household. Because I'll be honest, in my household, in my mom's side, my grand is the masculinity of the household. Because she's the one that holds the family together.
Yeah.
Because there is no I don't have a grandfather, so there's no father figure. So she now plays both roles. So she's the masculinity figure.
Why are you associating strength and power and leadership with masculinity?
Yes.
Why
It's
can't she
not
be the
just a
feminine
strong female
person.
leader.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I know that there's a percentage of masculinity in her to enable her to lead, But why are you saying then she's the masculine part of the family?
Which goes
No,
back to
I'm
my
not saying.
I just
look,
asked
I'm not
two
saying.
points. Like, when we're looking at masculinity in terms of, in reference to a man, right? It's usually coupled with patriarchal benefits.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing. And then when it comes to women, not that the masculine is not there, but it's not coupled with those patriarchal benefits. You know, as a man, if you are a leader, naturally they expect you to be a leader because that leads patriarchal benefits. And also a question I want to ask you guys, are we not packing masculinity and toxic masculinity into one thing, and you guys end up calling masculinity toxic either way?
Yeah.
So I feel like we should be able to differentiate between masculinity and
toxic.
toxic masculinity.
Okay, this is why I'm asking. Because Ospe just said that the way you defined your grandma, you asked why is he defining all those things as masculine? So I'm asking you, never mind Oxford, what is masculinity? I don't think we've gotten to the root of what is masculinity.
I think masculinity it's really such a shallow word. It describes a man. It describes the characteristics of a man.
I
And then,
hear you,
You know
but
what I
we
mean?
just said that we cannot equal masculinity to a man.
Can I try?
Sure,
Can I try
you
answering
can.
this one?
But then,
I thought we answered this. She said
I
this
think it's
earlier on, where the yin and the yang,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It all balances. Like it's okay. You find guys who are feminine dominant, and usually they'll go well together with a masculine and female, and then also going into other types of relationships.
I think in simpler terms, masculinity is the soul's expression of power, and femininity is the soul's expression of love. So what do we deem?
that's what I was looking for.
So what do we deem as powerful, and who do we place next to that word as a society? I think we've already figured out that it's men.
Yeah, but we just
And that's come up in the chats.
Yeah.
But let's be practical now. Let's put names to it. What do you see as a real masculine figure? Put names to it. Bonabani.
Ask myself.
Honey.
Yes.
Same. I can't. You're like,
Are you jumping on bars, right?
I
You
really
can drop a
like,
mixtape, like,
Yeah.
okay.
I like what
See,
you're
that's why I
saying.
wanted practical examples, because now you are saying you're a masculine dominant type of person, So
But I'm
now
also
we put
feminine
names to it.
dominant.
We get to unpack really the person. So do you have the feminine side? Do you have the love, the softer side?
I do. I do.
Which holds more weight?
My divine masculine. Because I'm currently exploring, getting to know, and trying to maneuver around the feminine side. I'm trying.
now that she's saying
But my masculine definitely is dominant.
Yeah, now that you're saying what you are saying, I'm coming back to you defined it as the soul's
Expression of power.
yes.
Yeah.
And I've never been a person to sit in the corner. I've always been the person where everyone's like, oh my gosh, shut up now, like you said too much. You're intimidating people now. But I've never thought that, oh, you might be masculine. Because I've always thought, but oh, you're so kind, so you can't be masculine. So now you're making me think twice, but maybe I am masculine? I don't know.
Well, you
just
also
an
make some
outspoken
argument.
black woman.
Yeah, it could just be that.
It could be just that.
Yeah.
Because you're making me think, you're saying that masculine is the spiritual. So you should think.
You should
Yeah, the divine
That's
masculine,
right.
divine feminine. Yeah.
So now I'm thinking, so women can't or aren't supposed to, it's a question, hold a place of power. And if they want to, how do they represent their power?
So I didn't mention women and men for a reason.
Okay, okay.
Just to answer your
Okay,
question,
you answered
yeah.
So it's like an individual, not necessarily as to their gender.
So it's basically just energies.
Yeah,
I can
not,
put it that way.
not gender.
Not gender.
Throw genders
just,
out the window
just
and
far.
it's just.
Just You're far.
I hear you,
Yeah.
and we can all say that. And now I'm pretty sure we're all sitting here and thinking about ourselves, just like, am I really masculine now? And it goes back to fine. We can all think that within ourselves, but in our industry, the film industry, the entertainment industry, we get to a set. For example, I was directing for this term, and I was just not heard. I was just like, it comes to this, and it was just like, okay, is it because now I was like, what is it? Why don't you hear me? Is it because I'm not a man? Because now I'm thinking I'm going to define myself as masculine. Now that I'm sitting and analyzing myself.
Or you can say
But-
fixed. If you want to run away from I think masculine and feminine are very still gendered terms.
Yeah.
So you can say fixed or mutable. You know how, like, let's talk about energy now. Fixed energy is like, hey, it's I'm fixed, I'm not changing my opinion. Then mutable, obviously, flowy. You can say fixed or mutable, it's fine.
But I'm saying, and I sit now, I'm not viewed as an energy. I'm not viewed as masculine and feminine. I'm viewed as I'm Oyanda, I'm a woman, and you will be viewed as people. You're a man. You understand? And what I experienced when there was a male director and what I experienced and when there was a female director is completely different. So now my thing is, where do we draw the line? Like, how do we? Like, how does
Draw the line
this
between
thing?
what?
I'm not.
I was about to ask the
Draw
guys.
the line between what?
Like between now masculine and feminine in a space of like a film set. How do you respect some, like, why is there?
We understand
No.
that men tend to get
You
more
understand?
respect
Yeah.
because of we are
Okay.
masculine.
Yeah.
And she was in the exact same
But
position,
I'm masculine.
Unfortunately, you guys are the face of masculinity now.
and she didn't get that same
But you
respect
spoke-
as a man did.
But you spoke
But she's
about
masculine.
being.
Yeah, but that's
But
wrong.
you spoke about being an outspoken black woman.
Yeah.
Why aren't you triggering that outspokenness in the film space to be able to be heard? Because you said sometimes people are like, shut up. Why can't you trigger that masculine energy, that fixed energy in that film space? Because you can in a sociable space.
Because as soon as I do that, it's like you're always talking like just like it was always a matter of being pushed aside, and as soon as someone else came and said something, they were immediately heard.
You see, can I say something? Just, I'll put it in the context of a set, right? If we walk into a set, I'll use for me, for example.
Yeah.
I walk into a set. If I know I am the producer of that set, right, then I'm seen as the leader of that set. I walk in, I demand respect. Simple. I demand respect because I have 20 people who are looking at me for direction.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna walk into a set, I'm gonna say, guys, this is what's gonna happen, A, B, C, D. If A goes wrong, we go to B. If B goes wrong, we go to C. If C goes wrong, we go to G. But at the end of the day, I'm leading you guys, so we go forward.
But Quincy, in
But-
her defense, bro,
but
what
no,
she's
wait,
saying
wait.
is this, right? The
No.
fact that you're a man, it's easier for people to hear you out like that.
It's not easy.
So-
It's not easy because I will have
It's
those
far
people that will
easier than it
challenge.
is for you.
Okay,
if you're
okay.
being honest, because that's the reality of it. I think
Yeah.
whenever you see a powerful woman, just go sit down and talk to her. She'll tell you about the struggles of trying to be heard to a point where female leaders are usually very crude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's what they've geared themselves mentally in order to thrive in a world that is male dominated. That's the sad truth. Do you know what I mean? Like a woman in banking will tell you, in a higher position will tell you, it's from the moment you walk in that they make a decision whether you're going to run this or not. From the handshake. My aunt always used to say, never give your, as a female leader, never give your hand out like this, you know, to be Paula, Jangendo.
Go in and demand
As you are on the same level.
Yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
It's the sad
Do you
truth as a
understand that?
female. you
Even
need to-
if I walk in the same with the same in you and I, we do the same thing. Okay, we do exactly the same thing. I have to do probably 10 times more than what you did to get that respect.
You know.
And even if I do it, to a certain extent, it's, excuse my language, you being a bitch. Do you understand?
And I tell you what makes it hard
And
for
also for me, I'm not a person. I'm a very I'm a powerful person, and I'm gonna think. But at the same time, I'm a very nice person. So I'm not gonna come to you as like, Tibi, I'm gonna come to you. Oh, Tibi, by the way, you had to do this and you had to do this. Please make sure you do it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So now, do I have to change myself?
No, it's not changing yourself. It's sometimes, I'm sorry, but sometimes, unfortunately, you have to play the mean card. Because being mean gets you that respect, regardless of your gender. I can walk on to a room full of guys that are 30 years old, and I'm 20 right now. I can walk in, none of them will respect me because of who I am. Because they see I'm some man. I walk in there and I demand respect from the
So
get-go.
can you imagine being a woman and 20?
But now you see, the thing is for me, the
30-year-old men.
thing is for me, right, is that from the get-go, unfortunately, I don't know if I'm being biased or what, but unfortunately, before you even open the door, you've told yourself mentally that they're not going to respect me. So when you walk in, they're not going to respect you. Before I open the door, I'm opening that door, telling myself they're going to give me the respect that I deserve, or they must get out.
Can I tell
So
you
why must women? Why don't you open the door with that mentality? Because I mean, right now, you're telling me right now that they're not going to respect you. But if you walk
Can I tell you?
if you were to walk into this room right now and demand respect, all the guys in this room, all the guys here would give you respect.
I started the term, and I don't want to make this about me. I feel like this is not meant to be about me. But I started the term, and I was like, you know what? I'm group leader. I'm director. I'm going to do this. And not by nature, and confidence, by nature. So when it came back as in like this, and this girl is messaging me with attitude, telling me why do I have to report back to you? The team.
Can I tell you?
Okay, so another one will come off topic or what, but to what she's saying. Nalendo, your name? Light. Okay.
Right.
This is how I see it, as far as this masculinity and femininity thing goes. There are women that are naturally just dominant and unable to but very choice when it comes to you. You can't get people to change you. Assertiveness, when it needs to get away. So if somebody comes, it'll shake her, be like a palm tree, bench or people move it. You can't say you crumbled and fell just because you don't figure what to do, must feel crazy. If it's time to work, you work. You don't take shit.
I heard that, and I fully agree, and I feel that energy. I heard that energy, but my thing is, why do you feel the need to shake me because I'm a woman?
Who is not shaking the
shaking.
No, they don't shake. Listen.
Am I going crazy?
But
Saying
no.
why you feel like I'm more shakeable because I'm a woman?
No, can I say something? Can I say something? People, let's take this off you.
Okay, let's take
People will shake the masculinity, the leader at the top. Why? Because they want you to fall. Regardless of your gender, they will shake you. So if you think they're shaking you because you're a woman and then you fall, that's on you, not on them. People are gonna always shake you if you're top.
So you think,
regardless of your gender.
So you think the way women and men are shaken is the same?
Yes, I believe so, because everyone, guys, regardless of what you do, people are gonna shake you. It's gonna be reinforcement.
Let's not be naive.
Okay.
Come on.
I was just going to say that it's difficult with us, where you're forced to work with certain people and you're forced to be in a different social environment with these people. You are introduced to your crew in a very sociable set, a welcome here, we're here to get our degrees or whatever it is. And I sit at you at the I sit with you at the canteen. My problems are. It's going to be difficult when you're working with friends to have a sort of control. So you need to be able to lay your ground rules from the beginning. But yes, we're friends. now we're going on to a set, we're going to a different situation, and now you need to know your role and you need to respect my role and who I am. It's very difficult now because you're working with your friends. You know, in the professional world, that does not happen. In the professional world, if I'm a producer and I'm asking someone for a script, it's okay, it's true, I'm going to get that like actual experience from. Yeah.
I hear you.
So on to masculinity in relationships. I have an interesting screenshot here that lists various roles that the divine feminine plays and the divine masculine. I want to list them, and then I will ask you guys, do you guys see those things happening, or do you see them as masculine or feminine attributes or whatnot? So the first one is the divine feminine is intuitive, grounded, strong, reflective, and empathetic. The divine masculine is deeply present, doesn't judge, supportive, has discipline, focused, logical, and confident. And the wounded feminine is insecure, needy, codependent. The wounded masculine is controlling, aggressive, and avoids. Do you guys agree?
I think I agree completely.
I know.
No, I think I agree completely, because if you look at what you mentioned, the more successful fixed and fluid energies, if you look at how a relationship is working, if you look at successful relationships, you will find that the woman or the one who is playing the female role would have those attributes that you just listed. The one who's going to be supportive, the one who's going to listen, the one who's going to be grounded. And the man usually is the one who's more disciplined. Why? Because he needs to get the work done. So I agree completely in that. You can fight me.
I also want to say
I'll fight.
You fight me.
Nah, see, when you were listing them, like I was literally thinking of those attributes, and I saw a man and a woman in every single one of them. So.
But in every relationship, there's different energies. Even if you have woman, man, there will always be a different energy. So we're talking about energies.
Energy. So it's you can be a man, but your divine feminine is intuitive and grounded. So let's not speak gender. Let's
just speak the roles in the
speaking masculinity. Let's not relate masculinity to gender at the same time. Let's look at it as a vibe.
I completely agree.
I think you guys have made a lot of ground in terms of separating genders from masculinity. I feel like if that's how we proceed the whole society, guys, we a lot of
stuff. I want to ask the guys something, right?
Sure.
And you can't lie.
You can't lie.
No, you can't. Okay. Are you guys the dominant or the submissive within your relationships, the masculine or the feminine? Like, what's the natural role you take? Or let's not put it like that. That's kind of mean. Yeah, that's kind of mean. But like, does your girl take the lead, or do you? Be honest.
Like, it swings both ways, honestly. Like, it depends on the situation or whatever's happening.
Facts.
Whatever, like, if it's fit for you, it's fit for you.
But I mean,
you'll always find that one who's a bit more than that, like who's a bit more. So, where do you find yourself most of the time?
I guess I'm dominant.
I think in most cases it's the gent that is dominant, but I feel like it is how society perceives. But then in your relationship, it is how
you two decide.
Yeah, me, I'm dominant, but I understand that I have a partner who, in her own right and in her own person, like she has to express herself the way she has to express herself. So I feel like, as my guy said, it is both ways. But if we had to say,
I'm not gonna. I feel like
you might.
But I feel like I'm the dominant one too. To an extent where I feel like I sometimes shut him down and he doesn't get to say what he needs to say. But in terms of money, he's the dominant one.
Wait, please go back to what you said before you said about the
Like
money.
in the
You shut 'em down,
relationship, I feel like I'm the one that tends to be more dominant
Yeah.
and does everything and puts everything together and makes all the decisions. And then he's kind of like, not necessarily like that, but he just in a way lets me do my thing. Even sometimes at a time, like he'll say, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a quite forceful person, and that is something that I have to work on myself. But
I have a question. Can we say that masculinity has nothing to do with your personality?
Oh, it has. Oh.
No, in terms of, I'm asking now in terms of, let's say my personality says I'm not gonna, I'm quiet, I'm just, no, that's my team.
Oh, I see.
You can still be masculine.
Yeah, I'm saying my actions will show that I'm masculine in terms of when whatever we're doing, my actions will say, we don't say that, that will call. But when we're talking or whenever stuff is going on, just because I'm telling Kulum, and you do most of the talking, and to you, you'll feel like you are suppressing me, but in actuality, what's in Gemina?
I understand.
I'll let you do it.
But tomorrow, we'll see when those something needs to get done. Those are called. Those doesn't flinch.
But
Those
your
are
partner will understand that. Ubuntu was quiet.
no, that's what I'm trying to warn you.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not even about that you seem as if you're more masculine. Maybe it's because
He knows how to pick his fights.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think
He chose peace.
he chose peace. He wakes up and he chooses himself.
Yeah.
We're not saying you're
We're not saying, we're just saying.
Talk to me.
No, when you're analyzing as you're speaking, we're just like, maybe your
But I mean,
boy
look,
is like.
sometimes it's good to have the opposites in a relationship.
Facts.
We can't have two people that talk because then we can't listen to each other.
Yeah, no.
But sometimes talk. I'll listen.
That's what,
Because sometimes when you're talking, you need someone to listen to you.
But I think it's a dynamic. Because you can't always be listening.
Yeah.
And I can't always be talking.
Yes.
You know, there are points where I need to listen
And you need to talk.
you need to speak, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
But you never find people who are both like talkers or both dominant. It just doesn't happen no matter
Do you know what I
what.
noticed? It's like
You don't find
it's also like at home. At home,
Maybe
people
one of them is
talk at home.
missing.
Like people talk at home. Like everyone at home. About my pendula ekhaya. As a matter of fact, it's always like no one. It never gets to the end of the conversation.
There's a
It's
difference
like,
between a leader or being there and
Yeah.
talking.
I was about to ask this because when I was asking all these things, because personally, I love a woman who can take control.
Exactly.
You know, I love a
Facts.
woman that could take control. But my personality does not allow because I hate being.
That's what I'm hoping
Like-
that we separate
like-
them. That's my question.
But I can't help but be attracted to these ladies.
I like when she challenges me,
But
dog.
personally, because I'm conflicted now, I think, yo, I'm like, just a human being. What it is. But like, all I'm saying is this, but like, I can't help but be attracted to these ladies. But
Facts.
goddamn,
That's facts. That's
I know the devils that I chose, so as in I know the
Yes.
cons, you know. So I can tolerate them, but like generally, I just I'm a dominant person in relationships, you know. So I usually give direction, but now I'm attracted to females who love to give direction, and then you know, I'm always conflicted.
I have a
like
question
that.
for
What you
guys.
say?
You know
We
where it
can
comes
have
from.
two masculinities.
Do you know where it comes from?
Oh, my mothers.
Yeah.
I've never, in my family, I don't know if a female is dependent on a man. You know, they're very independent.
Matriarchs.
You know, like, yeah. So, and the prominent figures in our family are mostly women. You know what I mean? But like, I'm also the indoor type.
I have a question for the men in our presence. Have you guys tried to explore your feminine side? And if you have tried, what has stopped you? I mean, if you haven't, sorry, what has stopped you from doing so?
Explore what?
In terms of what?
Let's say in a relationship, you're gonna be the grounded one,
Little spoon, yeah.
yeah.
Little spoon. Like now, for look there for some
You want to be
time.
provided to.
I've got
You want to
some
be.
little spoons.
So you provide.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Keyword sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you know this gender gets
Also
so
being the
cocky sometimes fun food gets out here, I got dog.
So basically, this goes back to like the yin and the yang and the fertility. Ah, yeah.
Why are you catching yourself again?
Sometimes a little bit of everything is fun. I got dog. Man that the very submissive kakoo.
Why?
Yeah. Huh?
Why? Why do you feel like you
No,
can't
that's
be
pride. That is pride. That is pride. That is pride. That is just pride. That is just pride.
Why? Why do you feel like you can't be too submissive?
Pride.
Because who I am.
Pride for me.
Is it who you are?
It's pride for me.
I do not like. There's a certain time that you can do these things, but then
Why?
but then for me,
Do you enjoy it?
I realize that
Do you
that
enjoy
is
it
not
when
my
you're being
role
a
to
little
play.
spoon?
Huh?
Do you enjoy
Hey,
it?
I want to be babies.
So why don't you want to be a little spoon for the rest of the relationship?
But it goes back to that thing you said in the dichotomy in terms of if I'm being baby to me, stuff's not getting done as in daughter for me.
How you go can do it?
Yeah, sometimes you must just lay on your tongue.
So there's no trust.
No. When she's saying all the time, again, for me, listen, I want to be baby.
For me-
well, I can't be all the time. Big and child.
For me,
But why
I do it
not
like
you want
this.
to?
I feel like
What's
for me it just
stopping
goes
you?
back to the yin and the yang.
Would you date a man all your life?
If he wants to, yes.
No, wait. Actually, I understand what Udo was saying. Because I'm not gonna baby umuntu right for my whole life, for her life. Because then against Luto.
Exactly.
Now me don't baby. I want to be baby again, but don't baby me 24/7 because when you baby 24/7, there's a lot of being done. Balance it out. Baby me 12 hours and 12 hours I'll be. Do my thing. And then I'll baby you 12 hours and 12 hours.
That's literally like it goes down to the yin and the yang. Like, you can't always be. You can't always be. We must always.
For me, this is how I split up personally. When it comes to just showing affection, general
And you
affection.
can and you want.
Listen, guys.
When it comes to showing general affection, baby me, I'll be the little spoon, But when we start to get frisky,
Okay.
You heard it first, yeah.
Let's say I find with mouse guys. What's our take? I feel like budget.
My take is just I don't know what is masculinity as a woman in South Africa. I'm sorry, yeah, actually. But I know what toxic masculinity is, and I don't think that's a good thing.
But I think we're so quick to say toxic masculinity because I know we're stressed for time, but when you get a situation where a woman is saying, I have my standards and I want a man to be like this and this and this and this and this and this and this. I want to do tall, 6 figures, whatever, 6 foot, whatever. When a man has his own standards, I don't date girls with big bums, I don't date dark girls, discrimination, toxic masculinity. And then that whole vibe grows and grows and grows, and it's like, then when do we stop? Where do we know what the boundary is of what real toxic masculinity, or is it just because they don't like you? Now they're toxic.
Okay, let me say, in the sense that I don't know a man who's not controlling. I don't know a man who's not abusive. I don't know a man who's not avoids everything. And that's just me. Maybe you guys have different experiences.
That's true. It's a subjective thing.
Okay.
If she's Julie, then
Okay, no one else has got their final remarks?
Now I just feel like for me going forward, I feel like, as I said before, we make a lot of headway when we don't put genders next to masculinity.
Yeah.
I feel like uma ukuthi siyakhuluma nje, asikhulume about it. abroad, masculinity akhona. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got a question.
After next time.
Next time,
Next
time, then you will ask this question on masculinity. But for now, I think we can agree that everyone has their
own divine feminine and divine masculine outside of gender.
Sheesh. Thank you, and we will see you next time.
Wait, does everyone agree?
For the viewers at home, tell us what your take though in the comments.
Yeah, guys, please do subscribe, engage, comment, like, and share. And we will see you next time on the next show on the platform. And bye!
On a king, I'm for Ned.
Choosing violence.